What's up, everyone? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm your host, Robert Durden, and we're doing the Jerk of the Week, Democratic Edition. So I've got two dudes lined up, and it's going to be an easy winner this week, but one of them I have to absolutely make fun of for doing something that is so, stereotypical and ridiculous and cliched that I can't let it go. And they put forward an idea that is so absurd that it borders on, QAnon, Fox News, conspiracy theory stuff. So the heavyweights going up against each other this week are Rachel Maddow and Joe Biden. So I'm going to go with Maddow first, and then we'll get Biden second. So what did Maddow do? She went on, first of all, she has an enormous following on MSNBC. Her viewership is very high, and anybody that knows anything about Rachel Maddow is that she is the Russiagate parrot. She takes all of the talking points given to her by her corporate masters and links everything to Russia. Every bad thing in the country is Russia, and she is a confirmation bias personified, meaning she works backwards from her conclusion, and her conclusion every time is Russia interference, work backwards from there and try to find evidence to support it. So what did she do? She made the accusation that Trump's very, very poor COVID response was due to one of the people that Trump put in, a position of power to take care of the COVID pandemic was allegedly, according to the CIA or intelligence agencies, linked to Putin. And so, ergo, Trump's enormously bad COVID response has to do with Russia somehow. So it's and here's the thing that's so bananas about Rachel Maddow is she will fight tooth and nail that all of these things, Trump is a some sort of Manchurian candidate owned by Putin, and there's all these backroom deals a la Tom Clancy novels where Trump will meet with Putin and shake hands like they're mafia bosses, and they cut deals like that, and he's a puppet. But it's if he were really a puppet of Putin, then why would he want Trump's COVID response to be so bad? If they're really buds, wouldn't he want Trump to do better? Why would he? So it makes no sense. Again, it's confirmation bias because all Maddow does is assume that Russia's interfering and then just make up her own narrative backwards from that. So it's so stupid. Everything is Russia. It's so embarrassing. She's a propagandist. She's not a journalist. She doesn't read anything. She doesn't do any research on the side. She gets what she's told to say from her corporate overlords, and like a parrot, she just regurgitates them. That's all that she does. So she has to get part of the Jerk of the Week or a nod for it this week because it's really? Trump's COVID response was poor because of Putin? Oh, God, I can't stand that dude, Rachel Maddow. All right. Anyway, so she's nominated this week. The second nominee is Joe Biden, and he's going to get... I'm going to hit him with three different things here, one of which is just hilarious. The other two are actually substantive. So, of course, the big one that's been in the headlines a little bit is that he fell up the stairs when going on to Air Force One, and he fell more than once. He was having a rough time with those stairs, and it wasn't windy. Nothing was going on. My man just can't raise his feet high. Now, as a doctor who has, a fair amount of experience working with people with neurological disorders, and a grandfather that died of Parkinson's, I can tell you he's in early stage Parkinson's, almost certainly. He has the same shuffling gait that you see with Parkinson's patients, and my guess is they finally have him on L-Dopa, but what happens is you can't bring your legs up high, and he fell up the stairs because he can't lift his legs high enough to go up those stairs. Get the dude an escalator, get him one of those chairs like Carl from Up, the Pixar movie, has that goes up the stairs. Just get him on Air Force One. And this brings me to my point that I made on Twitter. It's burners have been saying that he was unfit for the last 14 months. And now you're starting to see it. His physical issues right now, I don't care so much about those. But it is hilarious that it's manifesting like that because it's making the point that we've been making, which is, have you seen him talk? He clearly has cognitive decline. He almost certainly has Parkinson's and some Alzheimer's or some sort of degenerative disease that's making him have trouble keep a thought in his head. He goes off the rails in the middle of a sentence, can't come full circle on anything, and then he ends everything with "God bless our troops" because he can't remember how to get back to the beginning point that he started with. So he's obviously in cognitive decline. Duh. We've been saying it for over a year now, and everybody's like, no, it's just a stutter. Oh yeah? The twitching in his lower lip that you can see when he does any interview for more than a couple of minutes now, that's Parkinson's. So, I hate to burst your bubble, but him falling up the stairs is the least of our worries. We've been saying for a long time that he's not all there. It's worse than we thought. And watch, it's going to get worse here. Kamala Harris is just waiting in the wings to say, oh, it doesn't look like he's going to make it. I'd like to take over for the second 2 years of this presidency. And she'll jam the dagger in. And, that'll be that, I guess. Nothing will change. But that's part of the reason he got the Bonehead of the Week. Now, the two substantive reasons are the more important reasons. The first one is, obviously, he forced all of the staffers that have used marijuana previously to resign, to which I say, good riddance. Those people shouldn't have been working for him in the first place. You're working for the wrong campaign. And for Joe Biden, it's like, dude, you just fired all your most creative people. Like, all the people that were smart and young and creative that were, like, just barely stomaching working for Joe Biden, they, like, on their off time will smoke a doob to, like, oh, God, I work for Joe Biden. This is the only thing that's getting me through, man. And they smoke weed to get them through the day, and then Joe Biden's like, I'm going to fire them. You know what? You're good. Fine. Joe Biden's going to suffer because of it. He's going to be stuck with all of his, boomer staffers that are out of touch. They give him all the horrible ideas, and he just cut all of the people that are giving him all the good ideas, if there are any. So good riddance. Go find another campaign. Maybe next time, hitch your wagon to Bernie Sanders, who's for pot legalization. So that was, a win-win, but really boneheaded on Joe Biden's move. Absolutely. That's definitely going to hurt him coming up. And he's distancing yourself from marijuana legalization is like, are you serious, dude? That's definitely not going to get you any new voters. So, lastly, he forgave $1 billion in student loan debt. Now, I know what you're saying, or what you're thinking, Rob, that sounds like a lot of money, $1 billion. There's $1.7 trillion of student loan debt in this country. And a lot of those loans are taken out at 5% or 7% interest. So, like, this does nothing. It's more like a spit in the eye to people that have student loans out right now. It's 0.5% of the current student loan total that he forgave. So this is one of those things where it's almost like doing nothing, but it's more like a taunt to the people that actually have student loans. It's like, for somebody that has something like $10,000 or $50,000, this is like a couple $100. Like, it's never gonna help. It's better to just do nothing, because what they're gonna do now, and this is what's so infuriating about it, is they'll do their victory lap, like, oh, we forgave $1 billion in student loans. But what they won't say is that does absolutely nothing. So it'll just infuriate everybody else that is like in debt because of getting an education, and they're going to go, why are they taking a fucking victory lap? They didn't do anything. Like, and it's going to insult everybody that has student loans because it's so anemic. God, it's better to just do nothing and pretend like the Republicans are blocking you. This is the type of thing where it's like pissing on people and expecting them to call it rain. But people that have student loans are smart people, so they're not going to be duped by something like this. They're not going to go, oh, well, Joe Biden really helped me. You didn't help anybody. You at best gave us a couple $100, couple $1,000 to the people that have, and I don't know how it's divvied up. I don't know how they actually did it, but it's not going to help anybody get out of student loan debt. So the jerk of the week absolutely has to be Joe Biden. Oh my God, what a bad week. And there are going to be many other nominations and wins for him. He's going to take home the poop crown more often than not because he's a terrible president. So that being said, Rachel Maddow is a bonehead. She obviously, the Russiagate nonsense, it absolutely is ridiculous. And in 10 years, when most of her audience dies out, she's going to be a fossil. She's got nothing else. She's a one-trick pony. She's a one talking point parrot. So she doesn't win, though. She'll be nominated again at some point, I'm sure. And I could have done Andrew Cuomo, but again, I've hit him so many times. He's obviously a horrible person, and the more they find out about his malfeasance and, of course, his sexual misconduct, he could be nominated basically every single week. So, and of course, I nominated Joe Manchin as a Republican this week because if you want to watch my other video, he is one. I mean, he wears a blue tie to work, but that's about it. So you want to check out that video. I just uploaded that as well. I'm going to do 2 more vids tonight. One of them on DC decriminalizing hallucinogens, and possibly another one on HR 1, the new voter registration act that's going to help with election integrity. So be sure to tune in for those, guys. Good talking to you. I'll see you later.